Welcome back to 4 Geeks by Geeks, where geeks come to geek out. We are back on our Thursday night episode, back like we left. It's Thursday, so that means we're playing City of Mist. As always, I'm T. I'm your master of ceremonies.
I'm T.
No, you're not.
I don't know why I said that. I'm not T. Boser.
I'm Boser.
He went from Boser to T-Boser, so we're going to see where Boser evolves into over these coming weeks.
To Boser, the T is silent.
That doesn't seem silent.
It is.
That was very not
Pronounced.
Silent T. Yeah. I'm T. Jeffsitz.
Oh, we're doing that? So that this just means I'm Lucas. I'm not playing that long.
To Lucas.
Lucas.
To Lucas.
Lucas.
Lucas. Lou kissed.
Lou kissed. You
If
know.
you guys are curious what our recording days look like, it's 45 minutes of that happening, saying, hey, we should start recording, and then we continue to do that until one of us is like, all right, we got to be adults now. Let's start recording. And then we do a little bit more of that.
Yeah, it's like, hey, I can't hang out with my friends. I got to be serious.
Like, arguably, we could probably shoot 2 episodes Saturday. But
3
because none of us are mature individuals, we don't. Because we do things like measure our biceps and calves and thighs to see which one of us is bigger.
Hey, adults do that.
We do.
My back hurts, though. Yeah. What, do you think children are measuring their tiny biceps? Come on.
But that's not happening anywhere on City of Mist.
Nope.
If you are just tuning
can't say
in.
that. I'll make it happen.
Oh.
If this is your first time tuning in, City of Mist is a gothic noir TTRPG built around the Powered by the Apocalypse system. This is a game built or made by Son of Oak, a fantastic game company that I will throw money at whenever they release new DLC and any other project coming forward, like Tokyoscape. If you haven't caught that on Kickstarter, you should do that. Anyways, we're not sponsored by them. I am pushing for that sponsorship. However,
It's coming. It's coming. Thanks, City of Mist, for putting us on your website.
This is episode... I don't know, because time's a weird soup, and we recorded so far in the... I think this will be 8.
7. 8. Shit.
No,
8.
it's 8. It's 8.
It's 8.
I'm confident.
It
It's
is 8.
And if you want to jump in like, oh man, I can't watch this, you don't have to worry about that. You can catch all of our previous episodes on YouTube. You can watch the VOD if that's your preference. If you are not a YouTube person like me, I'm not a YouTube person. I prefer podcast formats. You can catch us anywhere you get your podcasts. Spotify, Google Play, Apple Music, Anchor, and there's some couple other weird ones that we send off to. And I don't know who they are, but, I mean, you can get them there, too. If you watched Beyond the Edge, Jeffsitz found his behind toilets and in sandboxes and in trees, so you can find them anywhere.
And I picked mine fresh from the pod tree each morning.
Just wait. Substack, here we come.
I get mine canned, because I'm cheap.
Sorry, I went through all this trouble, and I can't even listen along with Boser on Spotify because I don't have Spotify Premium. I'm very
Speaking
salty.
of cheap,
Be broker, Jeffsitz.
I wish I could. Honestly, if I could be
Fun
broker,
fact,
that would
Andresj
mean
does
that I
not
would
pay
have...
for
Last time on City of Mist, I'm excited for this recap because Jeffsitz doesn't know what happened last week.
I didn't know what happened last week either.
Well, he has an excuse, though. You're just you. So last week, Boser finally got his face-to-face with Darius after several years. Dell not being aware that Darius was still around. Darius was, on the other hand, was still taking care of him from a distance because Darius was revealed to be the rift for Aphrodite. After he became a host, he had to leave based off of what Aphrodite was needing to do. In a fear of not wanting to endanger Del, Darius dipped off into the mist to take care of what needed to be done, but still made sure that Del and the Foundry had everything they would need when he could.
Salty.
Darius was very excited to see Del. Del, not so much. But
Excited but pissed. You can be both. They're not mutually exclusive.
Their reunion was cut short as a gray suit exited out of the gray mist and told Del he was coming with, consensually or not consensually. And Del, being the freaky individual he is, chose to be tasered before consenting. So Del woke up inside of a interrogation room where he immediately began to act as Del would in an interrogation room. And started talking just mad shit, while on the other side, Harry and Detective Cooper were waiting. The three of them get together as Harry gives Del an introduction to what the Inn is. And the Inn is an organization that deals with missed abnormalities and keeps them away from the general public. And Del got to see firsthand the Skinwalkers enclosement, where they found 3 captive Skinwalkers. The skull of the leader was brought back to them, and it was revealed that there is still one Skinwalker present in Pandora, and that's going to be something they have to deal with due to the fact that it can infect others and grow the Skinwalker population. Del was not getting the answers he wanted from Harry, so decided he was just going to leave, where he ended up going... I'll say this because I don't think Boser is aware, so to kind of fill you in. Boser, you were walking through the back rooms, which is a SCP Foundation thing, where if you're ever in the yellow room, that's not great because it's meant to be a lost labyrinth that you never get out of.
Cool.
But while he was there, he found a door, and that door led to a bed. Del got a little bit too close to the bed and was encapsulated by this entity that brought both Del and Cooper into a nightmare that Del has often. As Del got firsthand information about the night of the explosion that took his arm, but moreover took his life because he doesn't remember anything prior to that moment. Del learned that the explosion that took place 8 years ago was actually an attempt to containing the mist in an isolated area so it no longer impacted the entire world. However, that did not go according to plan, and an explosion happened that killed everybody. Maybe. Del got out of it. Who knows who else may have got out of it?
Never thought about that.
Dun dun dun. Del then proceeded to get out of that, thankfully to Harry coming to the rescue and saving both Del and Cooper so they weren't trapped in this memory sequence forever. Del, once again, still not getting answers, was pissed and broke out of the inn. Oh, I'm sorry, I lied. Del was being an asshole. Harry's like, I'm not dealing with this shit, and just banished him out from the inn, where he was brought back to Pandora in a random woman's basement. So Del, in Del's, hey, this is what I'm going to do, leaves the suburb by stealing a random motorcycle, goes on a police chase, and gets arrested.
Yeah, that happened.
So Del's in jail at the moment. But before we get back into this game, who's everybody playing and what's your character fact?
Well, as you know, playing Del, the one-armed meat sausage. And fun fact is, I don't know if it's fun, it makes sense. My boots don't lace. They have leather straps with buckles because I can't tie them with one hand. Actually, I'm curious, not to be ableist. Any person out there in the chat or in the comment section that maybe only has one arm, what kind of shoes do you have? Do you tie them with laces? I'm very curious.
I'm just glad to know that Dell is a meat sausage rather than a plant-based sausage.
Which I believe
Yes.
this was last week's fact, and I think it's important for Andresj to know this as well. And I'm going to repeat this, one, because it's funny, and two, I just want to make sure that everybody in the group is aware of this. Dell's safe word is avocado.
All right.
Just in case that comes up, I feel like it's important for Andresj to know that is Dell's safe word.
I mean, Cooper already knows.
Don't mind me just writing some notes.
And Lucas, I'm going to have you go next because Jeff Sitz is giving our voiceover, so he can just lead into that.
All right, I'll go. Okay, so I'm Lucas. I'm playing Detective Spencer Cooper, and Cooper, much like me, just kind of reacts instead of acts. So this is me reacting to a fun fact, because that's a fun fact. Told you I'd do it live. Fuck it, we ball. I did it the entire time. I was like, I'll think of something. No,
Okay.
It makes sense that Cooper is not a proactive individual.
to an extent, but mostly reactive. Mostly reactive. Like,
Otherwise, you'd be district attorney by now.
I don't want that job. That's too much. That's too much. That requires
And
a lot
Jeff
of
Sitz,
effort.
who are you playing?
I am Jeff Sitz. I am playing Andresj, or the Broker, the information broker, the leader of the Neon Pillars district of Pandora City. A very tech-savvy, gender-fluid person who has been building an interesting relationship with Dell. A two-faced relationship with Dell. Fun fact for this week, referencing a fact from several weeks ago, Andresj did go to college twice because the first time they got kicked out.
Do we get to know what he got kicked out for, or is that going to be another character fact?
They got kicked out for going in and making their way into the computer's servers, or into the school's servers, and changing the grades of someone that they did not like.
The dean of students. Oh yeah.
Yep, changed the disciplinary, the head disciplinary person's grades.
Yep.
Love it. But yeah, just got kicked out of one college for making their way, hacking their way into the school servers and changing the grades of fellow classmates. Not for the betterment of those classmates either. And got caught. So got expelled from the school and had to start over fresh at a new school.
Gotcha. I like it.
And then I guess we can just go straight into the voiceover.
Yeah.
Because I was not here for the last session. So this voiceover is just, I guess, a montage of what Andresj did afterwards. After Dell ghosted them at a bar. Because that was
Sorry, bro.
strange. Dell just stood up, seemed very distracted by something, and just walked out after handing me this weird glove. A glove that I am already very fascinated in, and will probably have to make it part of my ongoing outfit, but now is not the time for that. Because now is the time for the broker to do what the broker does best. Because there are several pieces of information that the broker needs to figure out. Because first, there's the laptop that we got from Tony... Oh, what was their
Soprano.
name? No.
Tony
Aylen. Tony Aylen was a head at a tech company, Nikron, and we found a laptop in her apartment. And Andresj, even though this job is done, the case isn't closed to Andresj until they know all the information that can be pulled out of this. So this is one of those things. That laptop, finding a way into it, finding a way into the company servers through this laptop, because Tony has to have some connection to the company, even through her own personal computer. That's what I aim to find out. And then there was also I said there was something else. I know I have to look into Cornelius Avrodelius the second.
And then
But really-
the Raven drones.
Right. So the broker isn't even interested in just the second. The broker has some theories, and it's just looking into the name Cornelius Avrodelius, trying to figure out everything they can about the Avrodeliuses as a whole.
The Avrodelii.
Yep, exactly. And then third, the broker wants to use the Raven drone that they had tagged onto Dell's motorcycle to see if there's any way into the foundry to gain more information on Papa Bo and the foundlings. Because the broker is still working a job for the faceless ones, trying to gain more information on the foundlings so that the faceless ones can move into the foundry.
I forgot about that. Thanks for that. Faceless ones. Oh, nope, I did have a note of that.
Shit.
Oh yeah.
You're lucky I didn't hear that.
No, Andresj is...
A garbage person!
Mm-hmm. Andresj is cruel to an extent.
Oh, can't wait for that to bite me in the ass.
Yup.
In real time. Cool.
So yeah, that'll be the rest of the day, is just after Dell takes off, Andresj is like watches Dell just get up and leave, confused. Orders one more drink, pays the tab, and then takes the bus back to the Neon Pillars. Or takes the train, because I think we established 2 sessions ago that there is a train loop around the city.
Yes.
But takes the train back to the Neon Pillars, and then goes up to their... I think would go back to the broker's penthouse and start accessing the computers there, just to try and... because they'll have a full setup there at the broker's penthouse to start trying to strong arm their way into the laptop.
Okay.
Keep an eye on the Raven drones just to get an update on the going-ons in the Neon Pillars district, and to keep an eye on Dell's motorcycle. And then also just using the web to try and figure out anything about the Avrodelii.
So we're going to look into one of those. So let's
Okay.
get an investigative roll against the computer hacking.
Gotcha. Okay, so that's going to be, especially since I'm in the Neon Pillars district, Netrunner access.
Yep.
I would love to use weaponized info, but I don't think I've got any info to weaponize as of yet.
As of yet, no. So that one would not be privy.
Because, well, let me see what I've got from... I'm going to look through my notes from Tony's apartment real quick and see if I have anything I could use. But I'll use at least Netrunner access and Eye for Detail.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything in particular that we got from the from Tony's apartment, and I want to hold off on using Odin's Eye for anything as at this point.
Fair. All right, so +2.
Yep. Oh no, where are my dice? Oh, I found them. I actually put them away for once. Don't you love how, I don't know, maybe y'all aren't this disorganized, but when you're so disorganized that you're surprised when you actually organize yourself for a change?
Every time. Or anytime I do anything in advance. I was like, well, no, I couldn't have already done that. Wait, what the hell, I did? And then I ended up doing it twice.
That is a total of 8.
Okay. So when you use your abilities to seek answers to burning questions, roll plus power. On a hit, you get clues equal power. So you get 2 clues. Spend your clues 1-to-1 to ask MC a question about the subject of your investigation or another player. Relevant, they may give you on a 7-to-9, you can choose one. Oh, that's me, just kidding. All right, so you get 2 questions.
What is the how do I access this laptop?
Yeah, so
whether it's a password or just a PIN or
I think
biometric scanner.
I think Tony was a very vain individual, so you were able to pretty quickly figure out that her password was just Valley Girl, then her birthday, 0218.
Nice. Okay.
So she was very easy to hack into. And yes, as you open up her computer, you immediately get all of your work load-ups. You get all of your basic introduction to the company. And you learn that Nikron is an advanced cybernetics company.
Okay. That's very interesting to Andresj.
I don't fuck with technology.
Advanced cybernetics company. Okay.
It's not a robo arm. It's just mechanical steampunk arm. It's different.
Second clue is
Moose 2.0.
where is the headquarters of Nikron located?
Nikron is
if the headquarters aren't in
Oh no, Nikron
Pandora.
is a Pandora-based company.
Okay, then
Yep.
perfect. Then yeah, where is the headquarters located within Pandora?
Let me not be a piece of shit and open up my map here real quick.
Let me also not be a piece of shit and open up the map real quick.
I was gonna do something and I don't remember what I was gonna do.
I'm gonna go ahead and stay a piece of shit.
Hey, at least
Love
you have
it.
a character sheet turned in.
Yeah, still don't know what the fuck Lucas is playing.
Good job.
Episode
Lucas.
8.
It's okay. I have
I'm not doing it
in
out of spite now.
I think
right?
you are, but that's besides the point.
In one of my D&D campaigns, I have a character who, I mean, really, it's sorry to do this to you, but Lancaster, one of our viewers, is a regular of mine in D&D, and they are the worst about getting a character sheet together. There are full campaigns where I don't think that they ever actually filled out a full character sheet. They were like 3 levels behind or something on HP one time when we were playing.
Oh yeah.
That's about to be Lucas.
Nah.
He's gonna compete.
Stats I care about.
Yeah, that's min-maxer, remember?
Oh, right.
I haven't min-maxed a thing in a while. Okay.
Good old MM.
Nikron is based in the southwest part of Pandora. In gang territory-wise, it's in the Ruby Skeletons district.
Are we aware
Skeletons.
of all these gangs, or
Yes.
just okay? All of us would be.
Yes.
Well, I guess those two, of course, have access to tons of information, but Dell would already know these things too. I mean, part of doing runs with the Foundry, I guess I would be aware
yes.
of the territories. Okay.
And I can give you guys a breakdown here in a moment. Digital art is not easy on mouse and keyboard. I don't care what anybody fucking says. Alrighty, so
Those are the 2 clues I get.
yes. So breakdown. You've got the Foundry in the northwest part of the of Pandora. The Foundry is surrounded by the Daywalkers to the east and the Copper Demon Company to the south. To the south of the Copper Demon Company, in Pandora's Police Department territory, is the Faceless Ones. To the south of them is the Ivory Ravens. Dell, you actually got arrested in the Jade Fangs territory, which is the island on the west coast.
Okay.
Like I said, with Nikron, to the south of Pandora is the Ruby Skeletons. On the eastern coast, that's where we have the Neon Pillars district, which we have to actually name a game because Jeff Sitz changed some things for me. The Neon Pillars is surrounded by the Mammoths. To the north of the Mammoths is the Genies territory. And then off on where the prison of Pandora's prison is the Crimson Horn. And then to the south of the Crimson Horn is the Demon Viper Brotherhood. You recognize the Demon Viper Brotherhood because that is who the DA has personal beef with because they killed his family. Yes. All right, so was that everything for you then, Jeff Sitz?
As far as the laptop goes, yes. And then,
Perfect.
again, just researching the other stuff as I can.
Yeah, we'll delve into that one as we go. So I think we're going to pick up where everybody wants to pick up at is we're at Pandora's Police Department. It is the next morning. Dell, how many times have you been in a jail cell?
Well, it hasn't been too many. It was like I think I said once that I had been arrested once as a kid, like in my younger days. Well, not that much younger. In my teen days, before I was a legal adult, so it was fine. I just went in and got out. This is probably a bigger deal.
All right, so this is your first overnight. You were in with some drunk motherfuckers. You were with some beat up and bruised, knuckled individuals. And the rough thing about Pandora's Police Department dealing with rifts is rifts aren't always apparent. So you don't know those in the cell with you, are they sleepers or are they rifts?
They don't have like a mist energy.
Well, you got to think, because you're in the Faceless One's territory and the mist is everywhere, it's always kind of convoluted. And some people that are very, those who are just barely awoken to the mist, aren't very prominent. So you can see those to deal with. But if the cops are sleepers, they could be putting rifts in with you and be none the wiser.
Mm-hmm.
As you look around, you don't. You're just with sleepers at the moment. But 6 a.m. roll call comes around. Does Dell sleep that night?
Probably not for a while, but then eventually just like kicks back and I keep crossing my arms, but just kicks back and leans against the corner on the bench and just tries to mind his own business.
I'm sorry. I think the better question is, Cooper, what time? Like, how long do you feel like Dell needs to sit in a cell before you decide it's worth your time to come get him?
Well, I know he ain't going anywhere, and he can't do any more damage. So I'm gonna go to my.
But the whole
office,
time I was asking for Cooper, I was like, just let me talk to Detective Cooper. He
go
can
to my
sort this out.
office and have my caffeine to be alive for the day.
Your home office or the actual office?
When I get the actual office, and I'm gonna just do what I've been doing right now, and I'm just gonna be looking over notes.
One of the uniformed officers pops his head in. Detective, the guy in 3 has been asking for you for like 6 hours.
Yeah, I'm sure he's loving his stay here. Give me 15, 20 minutes, I guess, and if you could have the bailiff bring him on up.
All right. Fair enough. And the uniform officer walks away. And the uniform comes back to you, Dell, and pokes his head in. Cooper said he'll see you in like an hour and a half. He's trying to figure out something with the case, but...
That piece of shit. God damn it. This was it. God. Fine.
At the moment you raise your voice, somebody from the cell down yells out, "Shut the fuck up!"
Yeah, my fuck's getting shut up. Don't worry.
An hour passes, and the uniformed officer comes back and slides open the gate for you. Let's go.
Oh, is he ready? Is he ready now? You sure?
Yeah. I mean, you can stay longer if you want to let him know you fell asleep and you want to come after Chow.
Nah. Wait, what's for chow today?
Salisbury steak.
For lunch?
Can I get that wrapped up?
He starts closing the cell door.
No, I'm kidding. I'll go. I'm coming.
Still one-armed, handcuffed to your waist or to your pants, your belt loop. The officer begins walking you through the station and takes you to Detective Cooper's office. Here he is for you, Detective. And he sets you down in the chair opposite of Cooper.
Yeah, I got
You know,
I got you, Dill. I haven't used handcuffs in a while. Let me grab my key.
Oh, you had to reach that from your bedside, huh?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You know, I could have gotten rid of these anytime I wanted, but out of respect for the system, I did not.
Don't no. Respect for the system.
Yeah.
Maybe you should try respecting someone else's property.
Maybe you should try respecting me and not letting me get shunted to somebody's downstairs.
Look, I can't control that man. That's my boss. And he does what he does.
I nearly got killed by some Karen out in the sticks, by the way.
It was suburbs, not the sticks.
It's all the same to me. It's not the city. I don't know how Stepfords live out there. I don't know.
Look, calm down. You're fine. I'm handling that side of things already.
To clarify, he is being charged with breaking and entering, grand theft auto, leading the police on a high-speed chase, and resisting arrest.
High speed. It wasn't that fast. I was going 40 and a 30. Jeez.
Yeah. Okay. Look. I'm
So
working
some
on,
strings are gonna have to be pulled if you were trying to get Dell off completely.
I'm trying to spin this story the right way. All right. You don't make this easy. I'm just telling you right now. And I'm gonna slide him.
I told you I'm hard all the time.
I was gonna slide you a coffee, and I'm really hesitant now.
I'll take it.
Also, Jeff, it's just to clarify, Boser, as Dell, chose not to call an Uber or a Lyft. He's like, no, I'll just steal a motorcycle. That's so much more convenient.
No, I did call an Uber until the sirens were coming. Then I felt like I was fight or flight, so I flighted.
Regardless, I'm over here trying to figure out how I can I can't put you in like witness protection. Trying to say you're an informant. I'm doing everything I can to keep you out of jail right now.
Thanks.
So the little stay you had might just be a taste of, the future if things don't work out. So
Hell nah.
get
I'll
used.
pack up and I can't move, and my store's got my name on it. That was probably a bad choice.
Well, maybe then if you open a new store, you don't use your name.
Noted. Keep that in mind for the future.
What do I do with you? Where's do you know where Andresj is? I'm surprised they didn't get picked up with you.
Oh, shit, Andresj. Do you know I left him at the Laughing Elephant? I left them at the Laughing Elephant.
Last night.
What day is it? Man, I've been knocked out and fallen asleep so many times I can't tell you what day it is. I think it was yesterday.
The night before.
Yesterday? Yeah. Yeah, it was mid-afternoon. It was.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah, it was just before I got dropped in that crazy ass place you took me to, or your boss took me to. What's his name again?
Harry Underling.
Did he ever introduce himself once?
Don't think so.
yeah, I think it was just him and I talking, like acting as if Dell wasn't there. Just like
That's
talking
rude, by
shit
the way.
right in front of his face, like
As one does.
as one does. All right, so you just left them there. Do you know where they're at, or?
Well, I assume that they're not still waiting for me, because I kind of picked up and ran out of there
Yeah, I wouldn't
quick.
wait for you either. Let's be real here. Surprised they went with you.
Listen, we had a nice time yesterday without you or Colin or the DA. It was a wonderful time.
No, it was a normal time. No wonderfuls. No.
You weren't there.
Uh,
You don't know.
You had a friendly time, not a friendly time. Don't.
And as you guys are chatting, you guys begin to hear the click of heels coming closer and closer to Detectives Cooper's doorway as a tall, slender redhead pops in with a massive stack of case files as she drops them on your desk. Chief wants these filed by end of day.
Good morning to you too, Scarlet.
Oh, Scarlet, good morning. Hey, my name's Cornelius
No,
Averdelius.
don't
but
care.
My friends call me Dutch.
Stop talking.
Man, y'all are friendly around here.
Chief wants this case closed. 3 murders by
Yeah.
As she looks around, yeah, we need this. We need this closed fast.
Hey, do you know any of the? Oh God, I can't remember what the unit is called. The Gatekeepers. Do we have any lower level investigators, or maybe some fledgling detective types that can make it run out to the island?
Yeah. We're going to go to trusty old cantina13.com to go to our Mythos logos generator so I can come up with a name.
You mean that generator not only tells you a name, it gives you also their mythos and their logos in one simple click?
Yeah, plus 2 character facts to give you a better idea of who this NPC is and what they're about.
Hot dog, I think every City of Mist player should be using cantina13.com mythos logos generator.
Wait, it generates character
The
facts?
mythos
Yeah.
and the logos.
Yes, I know how I'm getting my character facts from now on.
From now on.
For example, I'm just going to read you guys this one. The legend awakens within you is Donkey Kong from Super Mario. You are Sandra North. In this one, she's a marine biologist, but we're going to
Wouldn't be the first time I've awoken with the legend of Donkey Kong in me.
You consider yourself a rather nurturing person who appreciates kindness. Your interests include pop music and classic fiction, and your intimidating demeanor makes you feel safe in an unpredictable world.
I'm so sorry for that.
I'll be sorry.
Don't you dare apologize. Dell is so proud of you.
Yeah, I think Sandra's just got in. She could probably run out there.
Good. Should be pretty simple. I just need to try and wipe some small memories. You know.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let's backtrack that a little bit. Scarlet is a rift. She is not a member of the inn.
Oh, well.
So that question would need to be directed towards Harry.
Ah, that's right. I forget.
Wrong boss.
They're not. This collab is. Yeah.
Yeah, no. Two separate entities.
Shit. Never mind. Rewind. Right. So. I'm gonna browse through this stack. She's gonna have to learn eventually. And I'm gonna hand her these are the easy ones.
Nope. I already gave
No.
her some. You're gonna have to find somebody else.
Are you serious right now?
Yeah, there's 6 other detectives. Go pawn this off on somebody else. But if you don't have this on Chief's desk by end of day, it's your ass, not mine. My paperwork's been filed.
Oh, so your paperwork's been filed, so you're free.
No, I've got another case to work on. Toodaloo. As she walks out of your office.
I love her. And
Your
I
job
hate
kind
her.
of sucks.
Yeah, my job does kind of suck, and you guys don't make it any easier.
Hey,
You
I
know,
get my
like-
shit done.
Going to jail, or stealing a motorcycle, or
It was a reaction to shit I couldn't help.
so you stole a motorcycle.
I plead the fifth.
It doesn't matter
how
if
that
you
works?
plead the fifth. There are witnesses.
Well, they
and
plead the
evidence.
fifth too. They plead the sixth or seventh. I don't know. Whatever.
Look,
Whatever the equivalent.
I would have just came and got you, or sent
Oh!
someone to go get you.
Is that what the sirens were for?
No, the sirens are for the fact that, I don't know, you're creepy, ended up in someone's basement. Okay, cool, that's not your fault.
I am not.
But
creepy,
you
by the
stole a
way.
motorcycle. If you would have just, had a simple B&E and you're like, I ended up with this blah, 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 I probably could have just handled those street cops like it was nothing, and we wouldn't be in a pile of paperwork.
Listen, just do your little mind wipey thing.
It's not that easy.
It sounded like. Well, you didn't say it, did you?
No, I did.
Well, during that rewind, it sounded pretty easy.
Potentially. I don't know. She could forget her kids, possibly.
Anyway, we're focusing on the wrong part.
You
of
know
the
that's
story.
like a good portion of divorces is because we go a little too far.
Jesus.
Suddenly, you just don't remember being in love with this person. You got a kid, and then you're like, what the fuck is this? And you want out.
I wasn't sure if that was an in-game fact or an out-of-game fact, and I was confused.
Where the fuck do I have the inn located so I can fucking add this? The inn.
Listen, we're focusing on the wrong thing. The thing we need to focus on is now that we passed your fucking DA's test, let's move on to the genie.
Look, okay.
Fact.
Yeah, I get it. If you want to look over what I got, you can. It's not much. And
Yes, please.
I'll gesture. It's actually on the board over here, and I'm gonna stay
Thank you.
sitting at my desk, and I'm gonna have to start trying to figure out how to keep Dell out of jail. And
While filing paperwork.
well, unfortunately, I'm one track mind. I'm not gonna try and do both right now. So I'm gonna do my best to try to keep Del out of jail first.
And I'm gonna look over the board. What do I see?
It just not to tell you guys how to play the game. Just as somebody who watches a lot of cop TV shows, the person who would be trying Del is the person currently using Del.
Oh yeah, I guess that is how that works. The DA would be doing that.
So to clarify, a phone call with a convince roll
Yep, that works.
could remedy your current issue.
See, look, I don't know enough
Nah,
about
don't
the
do that.
the jujitsu.
The jiu-jitsu system.
Bow before entering.
Oh,
Make sure your shoes are not on.
Yeah, that thing.
Am I
Do not
curious
know enough
to
about
know,
the jujitsu system.
Am I curious to know what your plan was? Yes.
Oh, eventually I was gonna head up. I was gonna submit all the paperwork to him.
As a police officer, you would know
Yeah.
the DA is who you need to speak to in these circumstances.
Yep. All right. I'm gonna. Well, I'm still okay. Knowing that information, I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna continue to like file the correct paperwork stuff because there's gonna be a paper trail. And
all right,
I'll give him a call.
all right, Del. What were you trying to accomplish right now?
I'm just sipping my coffee. Oh shit.
Yeah,
And-
it's fucking station coffee. What'd you expect?
And looking over the board and the strings and the web of facts and seeing if there's anything on the genie that I don't already know.
There's not a lot of information on the genie at the moment. It all leads back to the genie written on the whiteboard with a bunch of question marks and strings attached to him. But really no information outside of that has been determined because nobody really has information on the genie. And those who do are willing to die before information is provided to them.
Cool, which is why we're probably going to be on the case because they don't know shit.
Correct. Cooper, as you're listening to the phone rings, District Attorney Pierce Snyder's office, how can I help you?
Is T breaking up for anybody but me?
Oh, did I break up?
Really
Yeah.
badly for me?
Okay.
Am I back?
Just a little frozen.
Glad
Still
it's not
frozen?
me.
Yeah, you're just a little glitchy. I got the gist of it though.
All right, hold on. We'll try that again. So that way it's just a quick snip edit. I'll close some shit and make sure I'm not.
Ooh.
What time are we at, Lucas?
5:55. Not 5:55. 55.
Five?
Sorry, it
Okay,
was.
I'm
it showed.
I was
It
like,
was-
there is no way.
55 minutes and. It was 55 minutes and 50 seconds for me, and I was like 5:55.
All right.
55.
50.
Uh,
you're looking.
Am I good now?
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
As you call, as you're on the phone begins to ring. Pierce Snyder's office, how can I help you?
Hey, it's Coop. Is he in office right now?
Yeah, but he's in a mood. How can I help you?
Yeah, well, I'm about to make his mood a little worse. I'm sorry. Could you patch me in, please?
Do I want to listen to this one, or should I just like disconnect?
Would not listen to this.
So I'm
You'll
listening.
you'll
Got it.
probably-
Yeah, transfers right now. As she transfers you over.
Hey,
Snyder.
So, what was his name? Harry, right?
Harry Underling.
Yeah. So Harry sat there and just, after
Pierce is not aware of the inn.
Damn it! I keep fucking. I keep getting the two mixed up.
I'm just gonna help you out here real quick.
Okay.
For the inn, the only two employees that you guys are aware of are you
Harry.
and Harry.
Yep. Okay. Damn it! I keep. Okay. Yeah, so we were working on that case, and Dell ended up getting banished is the word. I don't know. Let's just say he ended up in some girl's basement.
I'm sorry, what?
That sounds bad.
So I don't know who he ran into when he was out in the town, but he just got magically teleported, whatever, to the island in somebody's basement and freaked out. I don't know who he ran into, so there's probably a rift out here somewhere that it might be aware of what's going on and who he's working with.
Go ahead and roll convince.
You're just making a bigger case file for yourself later. Now you're gonna be on this case that you created.
Hey, do I add anything to this?
I don't know. Do you have anything on your character sheet prevalent to
I
add?
have. Gift of
I
the...
wouldn't know. I don't have your character sheet, so I can't assist you on what may work here.
I only have one that I would say I could use. Yeah.
Okay.
It's called Gift of the Gab. In my
Yeah, that's a
my
good
justice,
one.
which will put that at a 10.
Okay. Jesus fucking Christ! Why did I bring this dumbass in?
Look, it's not. Well,
It's not. It's fault.
I sat there and told you that too, but it's not really his fault. He did freak out though, and may have
what?
stole a motorcycle and tried to get back to the city. So
How many people saw this?
well, the family, probably the two that arrested him.
There was a 3-car chase, so 6 uniformed officers.
I don't recall this chase.
Yeah, so a couple squad cars of guys and the family.
And girls, don't assume.
No, it's like Spanish. Guys can be good. It's a general term. So maybe less than 10.
Send the files to Francesca. I'll see what I can do.
I'm already working on the paperwork. I got somewhat of a backstory or alibi for, not alibi, but yeah, I'm working on it already. Just know that
Keep these fucking idiots in line, and he clicks.
You know it's a good day when
You're not
only
gonna
less than 10 bystanders saw you commit a crime.
Yeah.
While all this is taking place, Andresj, how is your morning going?
That's a very good question. Because Andresj would be continuing more of the same of last night.
Okay.
Continuing the research into the Abrodilii.
Is that the plural of us?
I guess.
If
yeah.
you would like, go ahead and give another investigate roll, and we can see what you uncover about the Abrodilii.
All right.
I feel like you're just ticking off all my boxes.
Essentially. So, I'll use studied opponent.
Okay.
I'll use Netrunner access,
Yeah.
but that's more of like a secondary because I am going to use Odin's Eye for this.
Okay.
Because I want to try and look into the mist to see what I can find along with the Netrunner access. Or
Okay.
along with like looking through computer stuff and everything. I want to see if there's anything that would be hidden by the mist specifically
Okay.
that I can
Yeah.
connect with.
Absolutely.
So that is a total of 12.
Okay.
Nice. Give me all my answers.
So as you are typing, how many monitors does Andresj use?
So
6.
Andresj just has the simple like 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
but the broker has like an entire wall.
Okay.
Because it's one of those things. Each one isn't huge. It's probably like most of them are probably only like the size of a tablet or something like that.
Okay.
Maybe even the size of like a phone screen.
Okay.
But there's like several dozen smaller ones that are just direct feeds to different Raven drones at all times.
Okay.
And then there's several like, you know, actual monitor-sized monitors that are used for, think like the computer setup in like the Matrix ship,
Okay.
the
Gotcha.
Nebuchadnezzar.
Yep. Okay.
And so it's just like there's 6 or something connected monitors that are basically the same feed, and it's just like if I move a picture from this one to this one, it's a seamless transition between the two.
Okay. So as you are typing away, lines of code begin to run through your feed as you're having to hack into some databases.
Just, sorry, a little bit of flavor text as well. Off to the side, we've got the laptop hardwired into a separate computer tower just in case there's some sort of backlash or counterattack.
Okay.
And you just see like going across the screen of the laptop, you've got the laptop in the background, like its regular functions and like the work connections and everything pulled up, but then on top of it is a window that's just like black screen, white text that's just constantly like automatically typing out. Because Andresj has that connected and is constantly trying to get deeper and deeper and strong arm their way into the security systems.
I like that a lot.
But so that's just going on in the background, off to the side.
So surface level, Cornelius Averdelius is a profound name in the scientific community. So you find articles and dissertations, and surface level, you find an abundance of information on the Aberdelii. Cornelius was a prodigy in scientific standards because he was making groundbreaking.
Is this the first?
I'm sorry, Dell's father. This junior. Yeah. Surface level, it is very easy to find information about Cornelius. He was making scientific discoveries fresh out of college, but it was also at the same time that as you are delving deeper and kind of reading through these articles, a lot of things aren't making sense. And you can see the mist is physically changing the words on these articles in real time. You are seeing the mist work in functionality with what is being read on the web. And as you are able to dive in deeper, and especially with that 12, you begin to uncover a lot that may or may not be understood. You are able to find records dating prior to 8 years ago, which, Andresj, you would understand is a big thing because prior to the Mist and Pandora, getting outside information, even for you, is a very difficult task. Like, it's obscenely like you can't find records more or less of the outside world.
Right.
But you begin to find facts, bits of information pulling from all over the world about this massive war that took place. Devastation ravaged the lands unequivocally as this purple mist began attacking anything and everything. People tell these tales and have written sonnets and have written books about things that they read about in their childhood or heard about coming to life and just rampaging around societies. Some worshipped this, some feared it. Obviously, governments tried to take it out as quickly as they possibly could. And then a company called the Observatory came into play, and their whole plan was to control the mist. There's no need to fear it, utilize it. This is an incredibly powerful energy that has been cast upon the world. Why not study it? And that's what the observatory did. And on the surface, you couldn't find any connection between Cornelius Averdelius and the observatory. But as you were hacking and being able to look beyond the mist, you recognize that Cornelius was actually the head of the observatory.
All right.
I hate you, Boser.
Why?
It's just the head.
What? I don't know any of this, obviously, but
Not with your
wouldn't my
memory
name
loss.
then wouldn't my name have some sort of like alarm? Like people are like, oh, your dad was super famous in the science world.
Yeah, if the mist didn't try to cover all that up.
Okay, that tracks. I'm understanding. Thank you.
To clarify, meta outside, I am giving you very surface level information. In game, this is obviously still very deep stuff because this is already breaching beyond the mist's cover up. But metagame wise, like this is very base level lore that is currently being dropped.
Damn. Thought we were getting deep already. Okay.
Okay.
To clarify, Jeff, it's technically you do get 3 clues. I'll give you one more question to ask that because I did just kind of dive bomb information.
Good amount, yeah.
Because I feel like that was I answered stuff you probably would have asked, but I don't want to limit you from being able to ask anything else, so I'll give you a question to still.
A physical location to look into within Pandora.
The observatory is not accessible no longer from Pandora because it was to the north of the Foundry, but you would know you can't leave the mist.
But is there a physical location within Pandora? Is there anything like a clue leading to a physical location? Doesn't need to be like, oh, this was the observatory's base within Pandora or whatever. I just want a physical location of interest.
The
a location
closest
of interest.
Yeah, so the
within
closest you
the
could
mist.
get to the observatory would be going to the Foundry, and quite literally heading to the northmost part of Pandora, because you would know that the observatory was on the outskirts of town.
Well, is there like looking through this information on Cornelius II? Is there an apartment within the city limits? Is there an IP
I'm
address?
sorry.
Yeah.
So this is actually more Dell backstory, but they actually lived on a farm. Correct
Okay,
me if
but
I'm-
here's my question then. I'm just because I'm not understanding some of these connecting ties. 8 years ago, the observatory was like the mist was already surrounding Pandora 8 years ago. And
Correct.
the observatory was trying to control it.
To clarify, and we'll be able to delve into this deeper, so this isn't really destroying a whole lot of plot line. The mist is all over the world.
But we still
The
couldn't leave
observatory
Pandora.
was trying to contain it,
Yeah.
brought the mist from the world to one city, and contained it in that area. That is why Pandora is such a clusterfuck, because it has a world's level of mist.
Okay.
So
in one
it's the
centralized
Simpsons episode
location.
where they put the dome over the city.
Correct, yeah.
So
thought it was just the
before
movie.
you could travel freely, and just the mist was
prior
kind
to
of everywhere.
you could travel everywhere. The observatory in that explosion caused some things that prohibited movement beyond.
Okay, so then yes, we did live on a farm growing up that was like I don't know, like 15 miles away from
Right.
Pandora, out of town.
Yeah, so now,
But-
I would say you could probably get edge remnants of the Averdelius farm and outskirts of the observatory, but you wouldn't be able to actually explore too much into either of those locations.
So is there a, like, again, I'm just looking for any point of interest within the mist limits that at a later date could go and explore. Be it a part-time apartment, an office that someone who worked underneath Cornelius Avrodelius II worked at, an IP address that I don't know the physical location, but I could track down.
Likely be just the Avrodelius farmhouse.
Okay.
We can dig a hole underneath the city.
And that is located...
It's in the Foundry District.
The farm?
Yeah, it's going to be to the north.
How's a farm in the Foundry District?
To the north of it. It's not just that. Pandora's a hodgepodge of shit.
Okay.
Can't get much agriculture out of steel and iron.
Right, but you gotta think, Pandora, there's still a whole north side. To the east of you is the Daywalkers.
It's not like we're going like
You haven't
a
explored
block up
that
the road.
area
We're
much.
going miles up. Have you ever been like to the edge of a city?
But no, but we can't.
I'm
we
trying to
can't
think
leave the
of
city?
where in Elkhart is a good example of the transition.
I mean, you've been in Chicago, right?
Yeah.
Traveling southwest out of Chicago, you get more and more industrial stuff. I mean, traveling due south, you get Gary, and that's primarily industrial. And while it's still technically a different city, everyone considers Gary part of Chicago. It's just South Chicago now. And so that's all industrial, but you continue moving further and further south, you get into like that weird in-between area of industrial and small town, and then it gets then it gets more and more in between small town and fields, and then it gets into actual farms and everything.
And then a whole part of what is that highway? It's just corn.
And I'm not trying to beat a dead horse here, like, but the Foundry is the northernmost part that we can get to before the mist stops us, correct?
Correct.
So the farm is not within those limits.
No. A chunk of the farm is within those limits, not full access.
Okay. I'm with you now.
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
And then, so depending on how long that takes, Andresj, I mean, unless there's some sort of meeting that the broker has, Andresj is just going to be focusing on that.
And some minor railroading I will be doing. You guys will be establishing a crew today.
Yeah.
Point blank period. So major story mechanic, that is a requirement.
I thought we already were a crew. But while I'm sitting at the board, I pull out. Do I have my phone? Did I get my phone back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get your personal item. I'll give them to you.
Including my guns that disappeared while I was at the inn. So I'm still missing all that shit.
Get back from the inn.
Yeah, that's in the inn, buddy. I don't control any of that. I just work here.
So I pull up my phone and I'm
quick.
gonna shoot a text to Andresj.
Real quick, sorry. What's the level of tag for the shot glove story tag?
We'll just make that a +1 because that'll be just
okay.
a combative based item, or even electrical override, but kind of how that plays out.
So I open my phone and I shoot a text to Andresj. I'm like, hey, sorry, buddy. Blitzed out of there yesterday. Hope something urgent came up. Rain check. Send.
You get a text back. Things
Okay.
happen. I understand.
Okay. Okay. Period.
No, you get a text back. Things happen. I understand. No worries. See you next time.
Man, that Andresj is such forthcoming and honest and great guy. Wow. Great person. My bad. I keep doing that. I'm sorry.
There we go.
And yeah, I just like hang out until just kind of taking my cues from Cooper since I'm in his office and waiting for him to tell us what's next.
And Andresj will just be, I mean, the most interesting thing that Andresj will do today is probably, they would have to swing by the orphanage that they help out at some point, because it's been a couple of days that they've neglected that.
Okay.
And then since they're going out, they would also swing by their old dojo at some point.
Okay.
Just see, it's more of a what's it called when you don't really have control over it?
Urge.
An impulse, an urge. Like it's just, they don't even realize that they're doing it consciously. They just end up swinging past the dojo to see if there's any other details that they've missed in the past. Even though they've done this hundreds of times before, there's no brick that they haven't lifted up and looked on the other side of. It's just compulsive. There we go.
Did we ever name the dojo? Yes, the Rising Horizons dojo.
So.
All right, so Cooper, what are you doing right now?
I'm finishing paperwork.
All right, so
Am I free to leave?
No, unfortunately you're really not. Are you just like openly texting?
Yeah.
No, that's just me.
Did you ask permission?
Did you really just? No. Is that Snapchat?
Yeah, it's my Be Real. It's that time.
Oh, okay. Well, have you heard from Andresj today?
Actually, yeah, just let him know. I just sent him a text apologizing. I ran out on him yesterday. But
Well, you should
probably
see if they would come by or if we can meet up somewhere, because we got a lot to discuss and we got to figure out what the hell is going on and what we're going to end up doing next.
Well, before I go anywhere on any other wild goose hunt, you're going to talk to your boss and get my shit back.
What?
And I unbuckle my leg
you
thing and
have,
just show it's empty.
I'm like, you have your... Look, that stuff, I'm sorry, that might as well be good as gone.
Hell no, it ain't.
You made it. Make another.
Come on, I've been working on that stuff for a year.
Look, I'll see what I can do. It's not exactly like I have a great relationship. I can't pull strings like I can here.
You kidding me? I'm about to cross off all this, my whole list. Just, I don't have it anymore. It's bye.
Look, I'm sorry. Would you rather go to jail or would you rather have your stuff back?
As far as I'm concerned, these are two different organizations, so I don't see how they're connected.
Okay, I can only do one thing at a time. All right. So would you like to go back to jail, or would you like your stuff back?
Keep me out of jail today. Get my stuff back later today.
Like I said, I'll try. It's not exactly like, hey, give me. All right. There's a whole. If you can't tell, a lot of my job is paperwork, and a lot of the time I'm doing paperwork.
Oh, I'm just texting Andresj.
Like, you motherfucker. It's not like
Cooper
the movies,
is an
okay? It's not
incompetent
action.
son of a fucking bitch.
It's not action all the time, all right? Detectives' jobs really kind of suck.
Hey Andresj, I'm actually with Cooper right now. Can you meet up in about, what, an hour?
It depends on if they want to come here or not.
I don't want to be here. I don't think we should be meeting at the police station. That's weird.
It's only weird because you were in jail.
Yes.
I'm actually like at legitimate type in a way.
I don't like it here anymore. Never did, really.
Look, I have a feeling Andresj doesn't want to come here anyway. So if they have a spot they would like to go to, that's fine with me.
All right.
I should be done with your release forms soon. I just got to send them over.
I'm going to text them and say, is there a spot? Well, first of all, talk to the broker. See if you can get put on another case with us, because we got more work to do. Where do you want to meet?
So cut back to the broker, who is wearing their mask in the broker penthouse right now. So like all of these screens are just reflecting off of the unlit mask and just reflective surface. We see the phone just like go off and ping real quick, and it takes like 20 seconds as the broker is still like typing into something, looking through screens, and then just a cocked head to the phone.
Hey Dad, can Andresj come play?
Can your other personality not take charge?
Puts the phone down. Then like 30 seconds, types something out. Another sigh as they reach over and grab the phone and like lift the visor of the helmet up. Responds back. Why? Because we can meet at the ramen shop.
Cool. Hey, we had a wonderful time at a ramen shop the other day, and that's where we're going to meet. So when you're done with your clicky-clacky over there.
That we never named.
Oh, we didn't ever name it, did we?
Oh yeah,
Here, I'll get a name by the time we meet up there.
Oh,
so
I lied,
finish
Jeff. Your district is actually called The Voice.
The Voice.
I forgot I
What?
had done some work.
Okay.
The Voice. A new district?
We renamed the Neon Pillars based off something that Jeff Sitz wanted to add to the game.
Oh. The Voice. Okay, and that would be a name that we all knew.
Yeah.
Okay.
Retcon.
The Voice. Interesting. It's just outside the Voice district. It's a pretty nice place.
Okay. That shouldn't be a problem. I don't think, at least. Look at my watch. Just give me 5 more minutes, and this should be off to the DA, and we'll be all right. Hopefully, I can walk you out of here out of handcuffs.
Appreciate it. Is there like a couch or a chair to sit on in this office?
Yeah, I probably have. Let's see. It'd probably be an office for 2 people, technically. I just have a bunch of shit like that is just taking over the second like desk and chair, so you can sit in that.
I just plop down and I start like shuffling through some of the papers and seeing if there's anything of interest while I'm waiting.
Don't look at. Okay. I'm gonna literally just get up and grab a certain stack of stuff. Be like, you can't.
So while that's taking place, Jeff says, let's go through that little sequence that you wanted to do.
He's like, what?
Sequence.
Huh?
Because you've got an hour, maybe 2 hours worth of time, so you'd be able to hit the orphanage, you'd be able to hit the dojo on your way to meeting up with the degenerates.
I mean,
And D-gens
there's not
from
much of
north.
a.
D-Jans.
I mean, so we got paid it was 10,000 total, split between the 4 of us. Right?
Cooper still has that check. You guys have not been paid yet.
Oh, okay.
I still have that check.
I didn't even realize that was the thing. Okay.
I still have the check.
Does Dell have the check?
Yeah, Dell was the
Nope,
one who
I don't
had
have a
the
check.
check.
Mm,
That got
I
seized.
can't. I can't imagine that Snyder would give Dell the check as compared to giving the check to Cooper to deal with it.
Because Cooper
I
got
was just-
sucked, whisked
I was
away.
just editing the session, yeah. Pierce definitely gave the check to Dell.
Why the fuck did I do that? That makes no sense.
Wow.
Because Cooper
Dell
wasn't
is
there,
charming.
and I'm charming, and Andresj didn't take it,
No.
and I still haven't cashed it.
Andresj was blind, and Cooper was distracted by other stuff, so...
Was that the episode Lucas just wasn't there? Is that why he gave it to
Yeah.
Dell? Oh, yeah. That was dumb, because in retrospect,
That would never
Snyder
happen.
would have 100% given that to Cooper. But alright, yeah, Dell's got the check then. I'm assuming part of the orphanage requires that check to have been deposited to Andresj.
Partially. I mean, Andresj has money still, so...
Oh, I was just thinking we could do those in as our filler for the group getting back together. But if you want to do it in a different order, that's perfectly fine too.
Andresj we'll see Andresj picking up, and Andresj specifically, not the broker.
Okay.
Andresj will pick up some groceries and basically place 2 paper bags full of groceries at the front steps of a building in the what would be, where's the old district? Which one's that one?
Old District is the Foundry.
Okay, then it wouldn't be in the Neon Pillars district.
The voice.
It would be like, probably like, think the Gothic riverfront kind of area of the city.
Okay.
The very like Chicago or Gotham area. So I don't know where that would be necessarily.
I would say that would be in the Daywalkers territory.
Okay. So yeah, make my way up to the north side of the city. It used to be an old hotel.
Okay.
And so it's got like, there's the remnants of what used to be regal and fancy. So it's got like these 2 marble pillar facades on either side of the front doors. And these front doors are like, they are hefty wooden iron reinforced doors made in like the turn of the century from the 1800s to the 1900s. But obviously has not been updated since like the 1920s. And so, or I guess like the 1940s, it was probably renovated after, you know, America got all that money from being in the war and everything. But since then, it's just fallen further and further into disrepair. So Andresj just lays 2 paper bags full of food at the front, knocks on the door, and walks away before anyone answers.
Okay.
And then hops on the L back
Nice.
down to the Neon Pillars.
Okay.
And because the Rising Horizon is in that area, is like, the Rising Horizon is in the Neon Pillars, and so back around to that just to walk by it.
It's been a few years since that was destroyed, right?
It burned not long after the mist hit the city.
So is it safe to assume that Andresj or the broker would own the land? Because why would it not have been repurposed up to this point in time?
The broker owns... Yeah, we can say the broker owns the...
In my
building.
head, I liked that headcanon. I just wasn't sure if we had a reason behind an abandoned lot existing there for so long.
Yeah. No, the broker owns the building, but it's not even just an abandoned lot. Like, the rubble from the dojo is still there.
Okay. Okay,
So,
I like that. Okay.
Yeah, so it's just like Andresj. We just see this hooded figure, a figure wearing a jacket with a hood pulled up, and they're just standing on the sidewalk facing this building-sized pile of rubble and just looking at it.
So
like
as you are standing
10
there,
minutes.
you have such a deep connection to this location that when you see it, you don't have to imagine what happened because the mist physically brings it back to life. As you stand there and stare at your old dojo, you see this once pristine building standing out compared to the rest of the area because the dojo was a profound place to be. It was a profound thing to be a part of. The dojo took in the city kids and gave them a safe haven. It gave them a place to learn to protect not only themselves but protect other people. And you spent hundreds of hours in this building. You spent most of your free time learning to be a better you in this building until one day on your way back to the dojo, you heard fire trucks. And you had that gut feeling as you watched them speed down the road. You didn't know where they were going, but you knew where they were going. And as you turn the corner, you see the fire trucks blasting copious amounts of waters as the dojo explodes in flame. You see the mist reenact this horrendous night as the flames grew higher and higher as the firemen were having a hard time keeping it contained. And they did manage to keep it from spreading outward, but they couldn't save the dojo or those that were stuck inside. But as you are watching this take place, you get the urge to turn around. And you relived this moment. Go ahead.
As much as I get the urge to turn around, will you allow me to instead just look down at my wrist pad as, since I am in the neon pillars, just redirect one of the drones to look behind me?
Oh, absolutely.
Cool, okay.
And as you look down at your wrist pad, there's an individual behind you. And the energy is palpable. You didn't even need the drone to look and see who this was.
Mm-hmm.
You faced off against this person hundreds of times. At one point, this was somebody you considered a friend, even though they were a rival.
Come to pay your respects again, Sable.
Pay respects, mock you. I mean, they kind of go hand in hand, don't they?
Since they did always reprimand you for your lack of respect.
It's not my fault they were weak.
Depends on your definition of weakness.
Took you out, didn't I?
One time.
One time.
Or
was
at
all it
one
took.
point. At one time, yes.
And now look at you, how the mighty have fallen.
Fallen. I don't see you running a district.
And as you say that, you do have a flashback of the last time you saw her. And it was much more recently than you thought. Because Sable runs her own dojo now. But tends to train outdoors. Specifically in Edith Park.
Okay.
So if you recall, when you were exploring Samit's murder, the little description I gave was actually Sable in the background.
How's the park treating you? Old folks doing Tai Chi still your thing?
Oh, much better than this place ever provided, as she spits on the ground.
Andresj's knuckles crack as they clench their fist.
Oh, do you want to play? I would love to go again.
I don't play anymore, Sable.
You never really were good, were you?
And Andresj is going to try and kick a brick
Okay.
back at Sable's knee and rush forward.
All right. So that's going to be a... Are you going toe-to-toe or are you hitting with all you got?
I mean, I don't
Can we clarify something on
think
toe to
I
toe?
would get to do... Yeah, I don't think I would get to do hitting with all I've got just yet.
Well, how hit with all you've got is described as attack at a moment of opportunity or vulnerability. Punch, blast, shoot, stab, put a spell on someone, cause social or
And
financial
I don't
harm.
think there's any... I don't think there's any moment of opportunity necessarily. This is just the
That's
opening
fair.
shot.
All right, so go toe-to-toe.
Yeah.
And toe to toe, as I understand it on the sheet, is when there's like a struggle for control.
Going
like if you're like
toe-to-toe.
grappling or like fighting over something, but hit with all you got is almost like a regular attack.
So
I have it reversed in my head, or not reversed, but like go toe to toe is your regular. That's when things start, and then you can use go to toe to give yourself, like, get yourself into a better position. I mean, I guess you could do that with hit with all you've got, but go toe to toe is when both people are on equal ground.
yeah, you're
whether
trading
it's
blows back and forth.
yeah, whether it's combat, whether it's a
Shooting.
debate, whether it can be any kind of conflict where
So-
both people are on even ground.
Yeah, so to clarify, in D&D, every turn is 6 seconds. So
Yeah.
when we are describing those moments, we are describing 6-second increments. In City of Mist, when you go toe-to-toe, it's not really a time frame. If we're doing a boxing match, for example, and you guys are just going toe-to-toe, you're trading blows regardless, but it's going to set up narratively how the shots are being taken. So if you're going toe-to-toe and you're trying to take the gain the advantage, you're trying to set up that low jab so you can come in with the right hook for the knockout.
So then, so the jab would be toe to toe, but that knockout punch would be hit with
Yes.
all you got.
Yes.
Okay, so then,
So go to toe-to-toe is you're trading blows back and forth. Hit with all you've got is taking an opportunity as it presents itself to throw that haymaker.
okay, it's just confusing when you give us an option. I don't know,
Because
sometimes it feels
going
like it's either one or the
toe-to-toe
other.
is kind of... It can arguably be an attack of opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, not to add further confusion, but to kind of then, because this is something that's going to come up later, past hit with all you've got, there's actually stop holding back.
Yeah.
And that is when you take your powers supernova. But that just hasn't become a prevalent thing quite yet. But
That's like a do or die moment.
yeah.
Okay.
But yeah,
So
this
in
is-
my head, I was thinking, oh, hit with all you got, you're going to be taking a blow on somebody not expecting that. But Sable, now that we're talking out loud, Sable is antagonizing and would expect Andresj to respond. So go to toe-to-toe is the appropriate tag, or
So-
is the appropriate move here.
Andresj is trying to use a piece of rubble, like a brick or
Okay.
a larger piece of stone, to knock Sable off balance and close the distance between the two of them.
I like it. All right.
So
What
I'm going
power
to
tags
use
are you using?
improvised weapon,
Okay.
Raven drone, because I established that
Yeah.
I was looking with the Raven drone and I don't want to use blind fighting yet. And then
how
studied opponent.
long ago did you use Odin's Eye?
Much earlier in the day.
Okay.
And so that's going to be and then studied opponent, because this is my rival.
Absolutely. So I'll give you +3 for that.
But with that, I'm invoking my weakness tag of old rival from
Ooh.
the Rising
Yep.
Horizon.
Yep.
Nice.
So that'll be +2 then, and you will get to
Yeah.
draw attention to that
Well, technically it's +3 because I am still using 3 power, but then it's
Right.
-1
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
weakness invoked.
What'd you get?
That is a total of, so rolled an 11 plus the
Nice.
3 minus 1 for a
Nice.
total of 13.
Okay. So when you go toe-to-toe, when you use your abilities to overcome someone or something in a struggle for control, state what your goal is, which you did. You're trying to get them off balance so you can close the gap. Your opponent can describe how they respond at their option. Roll plus power. On 10 plus, you get to choose 2. You manage to gain, or you get to manage to achieve your goal. Take something they hold. You get someone good, giving your opponent a status with tier equal power. You block, dodge, or counter their best attempts. If you don't choose this, they can impose a status on you. So that's it. So choose your 2.
I will, I'm gonna get them good, so
Okay.
I want to give them a power or a status equal to the 3 power that I used.
Yep.
To knock them off balance.
Yep.
So I don't know, like, prone, or like I'll go as far as to actually injure their leg as well.
Yeah.
Just I don't know what you would consider a tier 3 or what would be a fair tier 3. So just
So for tier 3 injury, that is comparable to broken arm.
nice. So yeah, I will.
Kick the kneecap in.
Yeah, like
Damn.
I will kick it back hard enough to actually, like, if not break their knee, at least dislocate it or make that leg
Okay. Yep.
unusable for the next little bit.
Sure.
And then
Yeah, so I think that would be your 2, because your achieve your goal is to get them in an awkward positioning,
So
and then
prone.
you got them good.
yeah, so
Yep.
manage to achieve my goals. So knock them prone, and I am in a higher position, like I'm still standing and closing the distance.
Correct.
And then, so yeah, I'll keep myself open to a counterattack.
Yep. Which is going to take place here.
Oh yeah.
So as she is going down, she is actually going to throw something off her waist, as it's going to come at you. So go ahead and roll face danger.
Cool. Looking over my shoulder. Yeah, it's gonna be looking over my shoulder, and God, I don't know. I think I can only do, because I can't do blind fighting
Not for this
for
one.
this
nope.
one. Could I use eye for detail and say that I've, like, try and notice as I turn around to dodge either to the left or right, whichever way that she's
I
pulling
would
it from
say
off her
no
hip?
for that one, because go to toe, like, this is instantaneous, like this is quick happening. So as you would be making that turn for the attack, she would be attacking at the same time. So as you are coming in to deliver that blow, she would have already been uncovering that attack with it.
Okay.
So that's going to be just a +1 then.
That's still a total of 10.
Fuck yeah. All right, so face danger. When you use your abilities to overcome someone or state in a struggle you're controlled, on a 10. Nope, that was go. Why did that open up toe to toe again? It said face
10
danger.
plus, you fend off the effect and take
Yep.
no status effect
Perfect.
at all.
So yeah, as you're turning, you actually see she threw a shuriken at you. So you are managed to slide out of it as you see it go flying past you. As you now have Sable in that awkwardly prone, like grasping at her very injured knee at this point.
Could I hit with all I've got?
Yes.
Cool. So yeah, Andresj, like, kicks it out, starts running forward, slides, does a power slide under the shuriken, and then, depending on how well this goes, because I want to use, for hitting with all I've got, I can't use improvised weapon, so I'll use insightful takedown
Okay.
from Odin's Eye. I'll use Odin's Eye for this. And studied opponent, and then I will use the story tag of the shock glove.
Okay. Yeah, that'll be 3.
And we call them stun nucks.
That is
Stunucks.
only That is only a 9, but still a at least
So
partial
on
success.
a 7 to 9, choose one. You take cover, secure a superior position. If you don't choose this, they can impose a status on you. You get them good or get many of them, plus 1 tier. You control the collateral damage. You hold the target's attention if possible. You gain the upper hand. Take 1 juice.
I gain the upper hand because the way that this, you and I will need to figure out what the juice is technically here, but Andresj power slides underneath the shuriken, and then tucks forward into a somersault, handsprings off the ground, doing a full think like Catwoman or Daredevil flip forward, essentially the T pose, like arms straight out, feet full tuck and extended, lands with the feet on either side of Sable's Sable's legs as Andresj pushes them to the ground with the elbow and just holds the crackling glove inches from Sable's face.
Okay.
Not actually delivering the final blow, but showing the restraint that their training has given them.
Okay.
As I said, I don't play anymore.
Oh, have I missed you? And she gives you a wink.
Andresj will stand
Kiss
up,
her.
or will straighten up.
Kiss her.
Andresj will straighten up, and so with I can never remember what juice does or is, or what I can turn it into.
Juice is used to change the game.
Okay.
So nothing really this right now. Because it's only for this instance, right?
Yeah.
Okay, could I create a tier 1 status?
Sure.
And yeah, I'll just make it a tier 1 status for now
Okay.
on Sable.
Sure.
Respect.
Okay.
Can
I
we
like
do that?
Yeah.
Dope.
It's not gonna work. You're not gonna be able to make me respect you.
Yep.
But yeah.
Just
But
prove that you can.
but that's good to know because degradation is a thing too.
Ooh. But no,
but-
Andresj will straighten up and just, unless you have a reason other than child's play, I suggest you don't approach me again.
And as you say that, you hear tires screech as some uniformed individuals kind of jump out and surround you in a sense of we're here for Sable type thing. That was fun. I'll see you again soon. As 2 of them struggle to help her up as they limp her into one of the vehicles.
Andresj will just look, since Andresj already turned their back on Sable, will just look at the 2 directly in front of them and just raise an eyebrow, looking back and forth.
You see one of them is considering testing you.
Don't try it. And Andresj will just walk forward between the 2 of them.
Okay.
And yeah, make their way over to, hold on, I've got the ramen shop name now.
Oh, dope.
Nagusami-sa no Ramen.
Alright, fucking slow down and spell some shit.
Nagusame dash SA space no no space ramen.
Dope.
What does that mean?
It means ramen of comfort.
Ooh. All right. So yeah, we'll say Andresj is meeting you guys at the ramen shop. Do you 2 head there, or are you guys doing something else in the meantime? Cooper,
Let's
as you were
go.
leaving, you submitted your paperwork over to the DA, and as you were walking out, you get a ding from your email.
Man, y'all in these notifications need to put it on silent.
Yeah, but yeah. I'll pull it up.
And it's an email from Snyder, and it only says 30 hours community service.
Well, Dale, you got off real lucky. You get to help the community that we so badly. What the fuck kind of community service?
And then it dings again, and it says typo 40 hours.
Oh, sweet. Okay. Well, you get to help the community, Dell. I don't know how they plan on having you help. That's for them. to
Isn't that
decide.
what I'm doing? That's what I'm doing right now.
That's what
We're
yeah.
we took that beast off the streets. That's community service.
No. Let's see what we got here. You can pick up garbage. You can. Hold on. Let me
Work at Goodwill.
Can you work at Goodwill's for community service?
Yeah.
Did not know.
Fun fact, that is where most of their labor hours come from.
Really?
Yeah.
I know they do like a work program.
Let's see. You want? No, not. You're not walking kids home from schools. Not happening.
Yo, can we just clarify something real quick and look me dead in the eye?
Yes.
I might be a horny motherfucker, but I do not fuck with kids, and I do not appreciate that light getting even shown in my direction. Do we have an understanding?
I was more or less saying because you have one arm and kids are pretty weird about people in general already. But I mean, okay, glad to know you don't diddle kids. Saying that in the middle of a police station is perfectly fine. Don't get so upset.
I thought we're driving away. No, I
No,
am
you guys are
upset.
still in the police station.
I don't give a fuck. I'm upset.
Can you donate
Y'all
blood?
piss me off. Can we do this later? We got shit to do. And I just start walking.
Fine, but we're gonna have to schedule you some out. Okay, and I'll just get up out of my desk. Start walking with him.
As you guys make your way through Pandora, you guys make your way to the ramen shop where you see Andresj is waiting for you at a table.
Andresj, long time no see. You're a sight for sore eyes, and I glare at Detective.
Andresj is doing their best to maintain a calm and unbothered facade. So if you want me to roll sneak around to maintain
Yes.
that
This is shortly after,
presentation.
so
yeah.
that eye is going to be noticeable.
Oh, okay.
Especially because Dell recognizes what that eye means. So I am going to say that we're going to have to invoke that one, especially if you're going to be trying to hide the emotion. So that would be associated with.
Would you say the weakness tag of I can go blind if overused, or the weakness tag of paranoia?
Actually, we're good then because neither one of those are really privy, so you're good.
Okay. So anonymity, for sure. And
To clarify, I'm only going to give you anonymity if you keep them at a distance. If you keep getting closer with Dell, eventually he would be able to look past.
well, it's
Something
using
like
the,
that.
it's pulling on the broker's personality traits of
Right.
being able to maintain that.
Oh, I'm just
basically
saying,
control-
eventually
yeah.
at some point, somebody very close to you would be able to look past that facade. So,
That
if
would-
you get Dell to the point of, over +3, then that would be one we would have to consider. Can you pull that off against Dell?
Okay, that's fair.
And I just mean, in a circumstance, if you're trying to hide something from Dell.
Honestly, it can just be the anonymity at this point,
Sure.
because I don't think anything else will really apply. That's only a 6.
Oof.
Yeah. So Andresj is What's the mechanical failure of that?
The mechanical failure of sneak around is...
Oh, I just don't do it.
Yeah, no.
So, Andresj is
Notably distraught.
notably shaken.
You good?
Yeah.
You don't look good.
Yeah.
Saki?
Yes, please.
No, I still have a lot of paperwork to do.
Well, then please pull up a chair. Why are we meeting?
We have to discuss the genie and our next little task given.
So, not that I don't appreciate the thought, Del, but why am I here then if we're talking about the genie?
Well, I thought we worked pretty well together last time, and if we are moving forward in the next case, I'd appreciate if I had you by my side.
Alright. For now, we'll still consider me part of working for the broker. I'll pass on the information, and if the broker agrees that this is a good pairing and a beneficial partnership, then we'll see what happens.
From my understanding, Snyder had that already dealed out, but I mean, obviously what he does with the broker is entirely between the two of them. Yeah. But we need to kind of work some stuff out between the three of us.
Okay. Such
So
as...
Yeah, what's the first step? Did Snyder give you any details on the genie?
Well, the first step is to stop getting in trouble. This one. And then also, why are you covered in dirt? I'm assuming that, well, I guess you wouldn't be like covered in dirt. I'm sure you cleaned up a little bit.
I mean, yeah, the only real dirt that I got on me was from somersaulting, and, like,
Yeah.
You can
it's
brush
not
that
really
off.
noticeable on top of that. But we can retcon and just say that, like, again, Andresj is visibly shaken. Can't hide it.
Yeah, like, obviously you're stressed over something. So, please tell me you didn't break the law.
No, just was confronted by a rival.
You got a rival? That's dope.
When you work in the mercenary business as much as I do, you tend to make enemies. And this one is one who decided that they don't like me in particular.
Oh, what fun. So we have a case to solve and another party that will probably intervene.
Yeah, is this person gonna give us problems moving forward?
I hope not. Part of the altercation today was ensuring or attempting to show them what would happen if they did.
You didn't kill anybody, did you?
No, why would I do that?
I'm just saying, I'd rather be the one to hide the body and cover that up than you failing at it. But I think I have more confidence in you than I do our good friend Del here.
Why, Del, did you get in some trouble?
I was trying to get myself out of some trouble that my good friend Cooper put me in.
Look, I didn't put you in that trouble.
You sure as hell didn't get me out of it.
You got 40 hours of community service.
I'm considering this my community service.
That's not for me to decide if it is or isn't. So, I mean,
I just want to get my cut for this next case.
Yeah,
This
aren't you
next one I do for
technically?
free anyway.
You are still technically working for the DA, so that works.
You bring it up with him. Just
Gladly.
you'll probably have a court appearance. Don't skip out on that. They tend to frown on that.
So
I don't know how I got mixed up in all this shit, but
stay out of trouble.
Don't draw
Tip
any
number
more
one.
attention to yourself.
Should be easy enough.
For you, yes. For Dell, maybe not. There's not too many.
hey, fuck off and start giving us some useful information.
I'd like some useful information too. It's not
Right, so why are we here?
It's not my fault. Well, we're here to discuss. Obviously, like talking to you is like talking to a wall sometimes, and the person that has information is probably the broker. So, obviously, I'm not meeting with the actual broker, but an extension of the broker is better than nothing.
So we need to find some information on this genie moving forward. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah. So, we need to figure out the comings and goings. I mean, obviously, we know the territory. We just need to figure out the best way to either get some eyes on, some activity, or some, like, anything, honestly, so we can start trying to piece this together and maybe, start working on a plan to take this guy down.
Well, can we use some of those little drone thingies the broker uses all the time?
I'm not sure. Possibly. Hasn't the genie primarily been working in the foundry or in the factory district?
Nah, he sticks to his own spot, but he's been pulling kids from my foundry.
Oh. What do you mean pulling kids?
Is he trying to catch a case too?
Huh?
Huh?
I'm
don't get that.
confused.
Nah, a few of my kids went missing, I guess. And then sometimes they come back wearing all green like some fucking Power Ranger, and then other times they just never come back at all.
Power Ranger?
So-
I mean, all the outfits kind of like pointy hatted or whatever. They look like, like Tingle.
Like Tingle?
That's what I think when I think all green.
Full body leotard with a hood.
Oh.
Really not a geek. He must be a nerd.
No,
Damn,
you remember?
shots fired.
He's very popular on
You
the
coming at
internet.
me or Dell? Make up your damn mind. God.
Both of them. Both ya.
Okay. So we need to figure out information on the genie. But for us, what do we need to do to get to that point?
Well,
Because if we're going to be working together, we could continue meeting here, but we need a base of operations.
I figured, the two of you definitely don't want to come to my office.
No.
We can come here. We can. I don't know if I want Dell knowing where I live, to be honest.
I mean, I do have a workshop. It's also got a bunch of fun toys there, made myself.
I don't know if I want to go anywhere where Dell goes.
I don't know. That might not be a bad place to set up a base.
Isn't where?
It is a shop.
Logistically speaking, though, like where is it at, Dell?
It's out in the old district. It ain't bad. It's tiny. Well, from the outside, but it's got plenty of space on the inside.
Out in the old district, that is. So, where is the? Okay, so the genie's on the east side of the city.
Yep.
Northeast of Edith Park. Okay. Having our base be up in the old district wouldn't be terrible. It's a little on the outside of the city, so it's not super centrally located, but I don't know.
You're right. It's not central, but I mean, if kids are
Honestly, that could be
leaving from
good.
that area, then I mean, it's not a bad idea.
No.
It's got a basement downstairs, which is where I work. It's got plenty of space down there. It's isolated. We're not going to be here in front of any customers talking about shit we probably shouldn't be speaking about in public. And it's not a police station.
I'm not worried about saying anything in public.
Why?
Oh shit.
Gross.
bleh.
But no, I feel like that would be a good place to set up a base of operations. It's a place where we can all meet that isn't super public, like the park. It isn't like this restaurant. And it's already a shop, so there's already bound to be some tools and utilities there that we can use.
Oh, there's lots of tools and utilities there. Plus, I can get my work done while we talk.
There we go.
All right, so
What about computer access, Dell?
That is...
you see Dell's
An
iPhone
obstacle.
3? Like, come on.
If it's still got a button.
I flip open my phone. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, he's got one of them razors.
Yeah, I'm a cool kid.
We'll have to see if the broker is helping bankroll this. We'll have to see what kind of equipment we can get from them to set up in the basement. Have a little bit of a digital connection.
Might have to run some cat cables, but we'll see.
That should be a good spot to set up, and we can build. We can add stuff as we need to. Cooper,
But
what are you throwing into this?
Honestly, I'm just here to help you guys. This is really hard because I have obviously the DA to listen to, but my little friends from before, Dell, you've been introduced quite well, but I got some other stuff I can pull from that should be able to help us in the future.
He's got the info.
We can create a little bit of an information network and web ourselves. Dell, you've got contacts and connections with the children all over the old district.
Sure.
As you saw, I've got my connections with the sleepers and sitters of the city, like the old man in the park.
Mm-hmm.
And there's bound to be an entire network of them throughout the city that we can get information from.
And we'll call that
Cooper.
network Obsidian, now accepting sponsorship from you as well. Sorry.
And Cooper, you've got the legal department, like you've got the police department, and you can access information through them. So we've got 3 good sources of information across the entire city.
Yes, as well as one kind of iffy source, but
As in,
well, my other job. Those
oh,
the inn.
with the
Yes.
the mists,
Yes.
right?
They don't offer a whole lot of...
Let's just say I'm not really high up there, but we can make it work. Gonna have to
Gotcha.
make it work, Dell. I'm sorry.
Could we get some more? Could you look into getting more gear from the inn that we could use? Because that mist grenade was very interesting.
Yeah, and I was thinking about that. If I can maybe retrofit that to some of our equipment here, we could maybe get some anti-mist serum or whatever shit y'all using integrated into all our tools.
So that's an R&D thing, and obviously I'd have to. Well, Dell, you've already met Harry, but
You just get me a few of the supplies. I can be your R&D department.
I can't. I don't have the authority to just allow that. You guys are gonna have to, go through the process, and it's not
process. It's always process.
Yeah. It's almost like there's a bunch of paperwork no matter where you go. Unfortunately, that is the role that I have to play here. Like, you guys can free and operate because you're off on a whim, but I'm tied to organizations, and the organizations are run on paperwork. It's such a wonderful life I lead. Why do you think I'm tired all the time?
I see why you got that triple espresso. Hey, but can we make something clear?
Yeah.
If we're going to be working together, and I expect that's kind of the direction we're all headed for a while.
For better
I know
or
I
worse.
might have... And see, that's the shit I'm getting to. I know I might come across a certain way a lot of times. And Cooper, I know that I've probably been shitty to you. But we've got to quit nitpicking at each other. We're going to start working together. So if I treat you with as much respect as I treat Andresj, can I get the same out of you?
Well, you see how I treat Andresj.
Yeah, and you just met him. We've known each other. I get listened at.
Well, it's because we're friends, though.
Oh, is that how you treat your friends? Because I treat my friends mighty differently. I'm sorry. I'll tone that shit down too. I'm sorry.
No comment.
It's like I can't turn it off sometimes.
No,
Which is actually
I'm
a
well
weakness.
aware. I'm just an asshole. Like, if I'm not... Don't ever take anything what I say to heart. Alright, though. Look, you're an alright guy. I just like giving you shit. Because you're up here, and I gotta bring you down a little bit every now and then. Because sometimes you can just be a bit much.
Andresj is just like holding their sake cup up like this, just watching, like just looking back and forth
This
like a
marital
tennis
counseling?
match. Yeah, just back and forth between Dell and Cooper.
I'm a positive guy, and I like to surround myself in a positive environment. And that shit it wears me down, it just gets under my skin. And then I become a negative person, and then I don't do my best work, and you're not doing your best work, and we're not doing our best collective work.
Well, yeah, the corporate world will, destroy you. Like I said, doing paperwork for not one but two of these jobs, and kind of getting shit on. It's a vicious cycle. It happens to me. I do it to you.
I have a suggestion.
Yes.
It can be difficult, I know, but something that can maybe start healing the gaps between the two of you is maybe, Cooper, if you say one thing that you like or appreciate or even respect about Dell, and Dell, if you do the same thing for Cooper. No backhanded compliments.
Are we at
no,
marriage counseling right now?
It seems like it.
'Cause that's what you kind of just suggested to us.
I pour sake in a cup for me and a cup for Cooper, and I slide one under Cooper.
Just one thing that you appreciate or respect about the other one. And maybe you can work forward from there to either bring that out in yourself or keep in mind when they are really pissing you off. I can start off. Del, I respect your creativity in being able to craft remarkable inventions.
Well, thank you, Andresj. I hear you, and I receive your thought with kindness and joy. Andresj, something I appreciate and respect about you is you seem to be a very reliable and come through kind of guy. And even though you keep a lot of things close to your chest, you pull them out when it's most useful and most necessary.
Thank you, Del.
Clink.
Clink.
Take a small sip.
Cooper, something I respect about you is your commitment to, or the apparent or seeming commitment to, if not, maybe not your job, but what it stands for. You hold the ideals of what you do in high regard. You have principles and you stand by them. Even if it means butting heads with those above you at your job or those that you work with. You hold an idea in great importance, and that is very respectable.
Well, thank you. I really try to balance all of this, and it's not exactly a fun or easy time. And I'd like to thank you for being as open as you can and reliable in the past, investigation, as well as some pretty good, fighting prowess. You definitely helped a lot in that fight.
I don't know what you're talking about, but thank you.
Mm-hmm.
It was dark. Who could see what was really going on? And Andresj just kind of like flips their hair flippantly.
Flippantly flips his flippity hair.
And
Spencer.
Oh.
Something I appreciate and respect about you is even if this job/jobs are apparently wearing you down and you act like you hate every second, I know you're doing it because you honestly want to make this world a better place.
Well, thank you, Dill. And I'll have to admit, you do give me a good laugh sometimes. And even though I give you a lot of hate, you are an uplifting person.
See?
Andresj, this was a great idea.
We're coming together already.
I feel disgusted.
Clink me. Clink me. Clink me, Cooper. Clink me.
Not clinking anybody.
I clink his cup on the
feels
table.
Wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm really proud of Del for not making a joke about coming together, so real progress has been made.
Very
See?
real progress.
We can grow. Wow. Didn't know
So-
how badly I needed that.
To clarify, we said we were making Del's the base of operations.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
I was actually looking at the building your crew pages in the player's handbook as we were talking about this, trying to like naturally push us in that direction.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've got Del's warehouse or Del's shop as our base of operations. We've got, like, going through the questions real quick. Our shared goal is to try and take down the genie.
Yep.
What brought us together is Pierce Snyder. We work together. We each contribute our own brand of information gathering more than anything, because that is what this crew is at its core, is information gathering. And we each have our own brand of that, as well as our own, like, Del creates, Cooper has the upper connections with the inn, and apparently has some good suppression. So like if we're looking at it in a
debuffs.
strategic thing, it's debuffs.
You have the
And then-
anti-magic sword.
Right. And then Andresj is the glass cannon. And so we've got a good dynamic there between the three of us. We meet at Dell's shop. That's where the basement of it is where we're going to create our little workshop for the crew. And then resources that we have at our disposal. We've got Dell's tools and building capabilities, as well as his information gathering from the foundlings. We've got Detective Cooper's connections to the police department as well as the inn, and his pull, as little as it may be at this point, but his pull with that, which we can grow, and the information that he can get from the police department, pulling out records there. We've got Andresj's, we've got the broker's information network, but we've got Andresj's connection to the broker to help out with that.
Connection to the broker / is the broker.
Right. Yet to be revealed, but yeah. And then, so we've got to figure out some power tags, since this is going to be the gamifying aspects a little bit.
And so the big question that I still need answered is, what type of crew are you going to be?
I mean,
Are there specific types the game offers?
I think they offer more examples.
And I just need to know what your guys' plan is for how I present cases to you.
Yeah. So think of it in real life. What kind of crew are we? Like, what official title would we try and give ourselves if this was a real life thing?
Yeah. So game examples are Private Eyes, Mercenary or Mist for Hire. Trying to scroll through and see. They had a list of them, and I'm drawing a blank on where that was at.
I think of
I'd
us
say,
as kind of
Go
like
ahead.
Conspiracy busters, company men, casual detectives,
Thank you.
dabblers in the mist, modern gods, the event, masked vigilante investigators, the order, the pros, the gang.
I feel like that's going to shift as we get better and get more, more renowned about it. But right now, I just think of us as like a third-party offshoot of the authorities that is handling some of these off-the-wall cases, like the fringe cases that they can't figure out or don't have enough manpower / mist power.
I'd say we're not quite there yet. I like the idea of building up to that, because we do have those connections, but they don't see us as part of them yet. I think that's the big issue.
Then why? The DA does.
DA looks at you as a tool.
Yeah, the DA looks at us as hired guns that he blacklisted into using.
Okay.
And so if we can, as we progress, we can establish ourselves more, but right now we're just kind of we're creating a crew of the three of us because these other people don't give us the time of day as of yet. They're kind of here, let's see if this works.
Okay.
Go ahead and give it a shot, you scamps, as they tousle our hair and throw us out into the city. And we're trying to prove to them we can do this.
Exactly.
Blacklisted.
Okay.
And so,
Can I get a redacted? Redacted.
yeah, right? But I'd say that right now we're kind of just mist for hire / private investigators. We're trying to gather information more than anything. Pierce hasn't even tasked us with taking down the genie ourselves. He just needs information on the genie so he can take him down.
Exactly.
So right now, we're really just getting information.
And man, oh man, do I have some ideas now? Do I have some ideas now?
I don't.
All right. So, here, let's do this then, so I can kind of help formulate. I don't need a definitive answer at the moment, but it was really just a matter of how I was going to present cases to you. So I'm going to take a wee bit control here. You guys have a great bonding moment at the ramen shop, and you share a meal together. And then obviously, based off the conversation you just had, you'd go see the base of operations. So we're going to take you guys across Pandora to the old district where Dell's base of operation, previous to you guys, where Dell exists. And it takes you to Dell's. And he brings you into the shop, and Dell, as usual, you have items outside of your shop because the shop was closed, and you know how the game is played. People drop shit off and leave a note. But this time, you're actually met with items and a woman in tears.
Oh, do you need something fixed?
And you recognize her. This is... These are all male names. More male names. Why are these all male names?
We'll be right back. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
We'll take a quick pause because it's probably going to be important for Jeff Sitz to hear this intro.
Cut it. So, yeah, yeah. Fun fact. I have so many things I needed to actually message UT.
Yeah, I don't have Discord notifications allowed, so I just happened to see I had like 6, and I was like, oh shit, I should have responded.
Oh no, you know how I just sent you that character sheet?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Depending.
And he is now telling you it's being changed.
Depending on how we do this, there's actually depending on how we go through in the future, I'm gonna have to change it.
Yeah, I figured.
Well, only because
didn't bother opening it yet.
because it makes sense.
That's fine. We'll figure it out.
Because this would be like a farther evolution, though. I feel like so. But yeah, it might be changing the miss to logos ratio.
Ooh.
So there's a specific card for gatekeepers called unit, like the unit. So it's like crew, but I can do like unit based, like crew based stuff with crew.
Gotcha.
So depending on their decisions and whatnot, I might be able to just be like a debuff buff kind of character in general.
Okay.
That's cool.
Because like reading through the Gatekeepers book, they have like SEAL teams and they have SWAT teams and all sorts of stuff, but also equipment and whatnot. So like Dell was trying to do, instead of that being like a crew card thing, it would be I'm getting it from the inn to kind of disperse and or cover for all of us. So like I could have the inn maybe help Dell's situation out, so if he goes to jail again.
When he goes to jail again.
Don't say when. But yeah, I haven't like looked really into it, but that's just like an off the wall like idea I just had.
Gotcha.
But I also don't want to like overlap too much with crew and unit, you know? It's a fine line.
What the fuck did that just go?
So I'm just saying that's a possibility in the future. If it turns out to work out that way.
Lucas, what time are we at for Jeff Sitz to cut?
2:31-ish right now. We're back.
All right.
We paused that, Jeff Sitz.
Yeah.
While you left.
Okay.
All right. Dell, you recognize this individual because you've helped her before. This is Tanya. And you know that you've had to help Tanya because she's going through a pretty nasty divorce, and her ex-husband's just a piece of shit and just doesn't help. But as she begins speaking, Cooper, you actually recognize her voice. Because you talk to her fairly often because she is a dispatcher for the PPD.
Oh, Okay.
And as she sees you approach, Del, I know this isn't something, and Detective Cooper, I guess I could have came to you for this.
What's up, Tanya?
Hold on. Sorry, I gotta find names real quick. I fucking fucked up that flow. My bad. If I don't do names now, I'm gonna ruin this later, and I don't want that.
What in all are you doing here?
Seeing another person outside of Dell's shop, Andresj will specifically hang back. Not like ducking around a corner or anything like that, but just like
just let them do their thing.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, got two front men, and Andresj is just kind of like in between the back, like peering over her shoulder. Like, don't want to talk to you. I'm sorry, I'm very anxious.
They are keeping a like it's a noticeable distance. It's like that awkward of like if they were traveling with Dell and Cooper, they would be, you know, within 5 feet behind them. But seeing this other person, they stood back like 10 feet, and so they're now just awkwardly like a little too far away to really be
Gross.
what?
Gross. PDA.
How dare you?
But yeah, just
How dare you?
standing too far back for it to really be comfortable.
It's about being comfortable with it.
Yeah, we're making fun of you and
that-
Sky T.
Uncomfortable. Ugh.
Gross. Ugh.
How dare you?
PDA. We're geeks. We don't know what that is.
I have a lighted keyboard and 3 monitors. I am a virgin.
Alright, bear with me just one more second.
Fucking, it's protected. You see, like even my mouse, like.
Can I otter with you instead of bear?
Alright, I can fill in those from there later. Alright, so Tanya is standing before you. So Cooper, you would actually be aware that Tanya's ex-husband is Cole Nunez, a uniformed officer for the PPD.
Hmm.
I couldn't go to I couldn't go to the police department because then they're gonna take his pension, and I don't know if this is just like a reaction to something, or I don't.
Hold on. Let's step inside. Y'all, we shouldn't be having this talk on the street. Come on in, Tanya. Y'all, this is Tanya. Cooper, you might already know her.
Yeah, she works dispatch. What's going on?
I open the door and file everybody inside. And
Sit her down.
And I-
breathe.
and
Calm
I-
down.
I go grab there's like a mini fridge underneath the desk, and I grab her a water.
Cole took Mikey.
What?
Is it
What do you mean took?
not a part of his custody agreement?
No, he was supposed to bring him back, and then he told me that if he can't have me, then no one can have me. I thought the case was like, and Cooper, you would know that Nunez has been undercover with the Daywalkers for quite some time now.
Okay.
When was he supposed to bring him back?
3 days ago.
And have you spoken to him at all?
He won't answer my calls.
So he's been out of the loop. He's been out of the loop for 3 days. Mikey's still gone.
The last thing he told me is I won't see Mikey again.
And you just been sitting on this? You haven't been...
No, I mean,
And
I reached out to his partner, but he told him Cole was probably just off doing something, and he got busy. Like, you know how...
Right.
I can't go to the cops and tell them one of their own kidnapped my child.
Right. Let me see what I can find out. It might be have to do with his assignment. I don't know why he would bring him
Mikey.
into the. Yeah, I don't know why he would bring him into this.
How old is Mikey?
7.
Yeah, what's a 7-year-old have to do with an assignment with a cop? What kind of assignment was he on?
He's undercover right now, so I All right. I'll pull up my notebook.
Your iPad?
It's a notebook. It's just got all sorts of cool stuff on it. You know, one of them the flippy style ones that you see in all the movies. And no texty typey, but I'm just gonna literally write in Daywalker case or whatever and see if I can't pull it. It is basically an iPad, but it looks like a notebook.
You know,
Yeah.
mystified.
And I'm gonna
All
see
right,
if I can't pull up any information on.
Go ahead and roll investigate.
And obviously, I got things for this. So I'll do detective and I guess I'm using my notebook, so gatekeeper arsenal.
Okay, that's +2.
And that'll be 12.
Jesus Christ.
10 plus 2.
All
Everybody's
right.
rolling really high today.
On a hit, you get clues equal power. Spend your clues 1-to-1 to ask a MC a question about the subject of your investigation. So you get 2 questions.
Okay. What was Cole's assignment with the Daywalkers?
Cole's assignment was to get close to Donna Wilson to take her down. So this is going to be a RICO operation.
And you already said he's been doing that for. No, you didn't say how long he's been on that
Nope.
case, right?
Nope.
And then, what exactly is their operations?
The Daywalkers are gun runners.
Okay. All right. I really don't know why Cole would bring him into this with. I mean, a kid in this. I mean, unless he wouldn't use Michael for. No, there's no way.
What sort of shit was he doing?
He's undercover with the Daywalkers. He's supposed to be, figuring out how they're running guns through the mist, and I have a hard.
How can he be watching a kid and be undercover?
No, that's the thing. I don't think he's watching the kid. He might have went a little too far on this one. He could be using Michael.
Nah, Tanya, we're gonna get Mikey back, all right?
Yeah, and the moment you say he's maybe using Mikey, she just breaks down bawling.
By the way, she came to me. How close were we?
I mean, you've worked with Tanya a handful of times. She's been divorced going through the divorce about the amount of time that Cole went undercover. So it's been a few years. So basically, anytime something breaks down in her home, she's coming to you to fix it because she no longer has Cole to rely on.
Got it. And we didn't have any, it was strictly above board. Or
You
did we
tell
get,
me.
Close. Oh, okay.
These are things that you get to establish.
I forget that. I just sit down. I put a hand on her knee. Tanya, we're gonna find Mikey, all right? Don't you worry. Do you feel like you're safe where you're at?
I mean, I'm not worried about me. I just need Mikey back. I need to know he's safe.
And where's do you know where Cole was staying before?
I just know he's been hanging out with the Daywalkers. I mean, he stopped coming home. That's why the divorce happened.
Look, I'll have to see who's running that, and I'll let me get with the PD about it. We'll figure out who he's supposed to be reporting to. If he hasn't checked in with them, then there's obviously something going on. I don't want to.
I'm so sorry to drop this on you guys. I didn't know where to go.
No, it's okay. This is it's a touchy thing. I understand you. I mean, you still care about him enough that you. It's a tricky situation, and we should be able to handle this without any extra paperwork and actions to keep him from getting locked up himself.
No, it's a safe space. You came to the right place.
And on that note, that's where we'll leave off on this episode.
Ah!
Ba-da-da.
I didn't even take you to my basement and show me my cool toys yet. I'm gonna draft that up in my mind so I can paint the picture real nice next time.
Yeah, so technically speaking, in City of Mist, a base of operations is technically a tag somebody has to have. However, that's boring. And I wanted to give you guys a place that you can grow and design as you see fit.
Nice.
But yeah, that was episode 8 of The Misfits. Episode decided by Jeff Sits, because I don't name shit.
Yep,
Ever.
None of us do. So it usually turns out one of us is like, all right, cool, we're gonna run the stream, and then it's like, what are we calling this?
I cannot name shit.
What tags
save
are
my
you
life.
using? I don't know. So just
There's
do
a-
it for me, please.
There's a reason Cantina made this Mythos Logos generator for us, is because my need was I can't come up with names for shit.
But that is so
And
handy, right?
It's so fucking helpful. It's so helpful.
And they've also got some great generators. If you are a bard and you can't think of inspiration, they've got it. Or let's say you want to do some vicious mockery, they've got that covered too.
Now you
Cantina
see me
13.
here, you plague-stricken dummy. Get back, lest the mockery becomes a rebuke.
Whoa! Shots fired!
But now it's time for one of my favorite parts of City of Mist is design, and that is Geek Out during credits, where we recap how characters are feeling, any growth and progress they may take place. But really, we utilize it as a moment to really capture how the characters are feeling after the episode and the circumstances they are dealing with. So, in the order that I see them, Dell.
Dell is feeling much better after that little counseling session, the ramen shop. I'm finding this is like a... I think this kind of bleeds into all of my characters just because it's something that I don't deal well with. Like, I've got a few people, including Lucas, in my life that... Okay, and it's not... You don't really do this much in real life, but I've got a few people in my life that do, like, nitpick and, like, just do jabs. And I just apparently don't handle that well because I take it personally every time. And...
Why are you doing this to me?
And I'm either gonna, like, fight back or just, like, cut off. And I just want everybody to be, like, positive and happy. Like, Caitlin and I never bicker because both of us just don't handle it well. So I'm really looking forward to a more positive working relationship with Cooper. And we can shit on everybody else, Cooper, but we just can't shit on each other.
As a team, I need it to be positive. That's the only way I can be constructive.
Honestly, yes, 100%.
You guys should see Moose and I's friendship.
Oh, we have.
He's a glutton for punishment, and I give it to him.
And Jeff Sits, you've gained a lot of information this episode. You had a blast from the past this episode. How is Andresj feeling right now?
Reserved. Doing the like mentally and emotionally, it's the full like shrinking down as much as possible. Part of the reason I stepped back and stayed out of the talking with already forgot her name.
Tanya.
Tanya Hunt at the end of that right there.
Hot Tanya. I'm imagining she's hot.
Hot Tanya. Hot Tanya. Hot Tanya.
But Andresj is obviously a bit on edge just because that blast from the past is what most recently happened. Outside of that, though, like a little bit deeper, further into the mind, Andresj is still feeling more empowered, especially within this group, because they still feel like they've got the upper hand. They still feel like, as far as knowledge goes.
Yeah, let me just walk you into this district which you're trying to gain more info on.
It's almost like
It was designed.
it's almost like Andresj suggested a shop that was close by to the foundry, specifically so they could have an inn.
Yeah.
No, Andresj
I noticed
is
that.
How dare you
like Andresj is
Throws plan out window.
Andresj is specifically getting plans moving for themselves. So I'm having fun. And the broker is feeling powerful. Andresj obviously is feeling a bit on edge after that confrontation with Sable, but still proved themselves capable in that interaction. So while they're on edge, they're still feeling stable and powerful. So
I like it. And Cooper.
Yeah. By the way, it's so hard to hear all these things that you're learning, like about my dad and about me and about your plans, and then
Not
just
being able to
completely
act
forget
off of
it. Yeah, I have to just like live in the moment of the character. And I'm like, I don't know this thing.
Yep. Cooper is very much trying to feel like he's like hanging on by a thread right now. He's pretty like mentally stretched thin. It is a little reassuring that like, okay, we are kind of establishing some ground rules, and we're starting to kind of actually like coordinate, because obviously like before we all just kind of stumbled on all over each other trying to solve the last case, and a little more at ease with working with Del and Andresj, but he's also in the back of his mind trying to figure out how he's going to make this work with the inn, as well as keep the DA happy, and especially with this new little break, this new little case to solve. He's just like, oh god, who's messing around now?
yeah.
Lucas couldn't come up with a character, so came up with the most convoluted, story-dragged character possible.
Love it. I absolutely love it.
I know what you're talking about.
And I've said
I am the
this,
story.
And I've said this off stream. I've said this on other streams. My geek out is I'm very impressed with the three of you. Boser and I talked about this the other day. Kingdom Come was a very fun campaign, but it was very, I don't want to say awkward, but you could tell that all of us did not have chemistry with each other because we have not worked with each other in that facet as a group, and everything coming and going made it a little difficult. But now that we've got a full campaign under our belt, what was supposed to be fucking 6 sessions turned into like 15 sessions for Beyond the Edge, so we're gonna call that a half campaign under our belt. We've got a good flow between all of us, and as I was saying on camera with Sky, I was like, I'm impressed with how well that like the bickering could have been completely ignored. Like, oh no, we're supposed to be a team. We can just work together, no problem. And we can just skip past the awkward part because technically it's not needed. But instead of just dive bombing into what the campaign needs to progress, we still have that. We're still building up towards the working together and communication aspect of people who've never worked together coming together. So I'm genuinely impressed, and I appreciate your guys' commitment to these characters, and I greatly appreciate you helping me bring something as abstract, which was something I think all of us had an issue with coming into the idea of this campaign, because it's so loosey-goosey. It doesn't make sense as a TTRPG, but I think you guys have done a fantastic job of showcasing what this campaign and this system has to offer in ways of narrative storytelling. So appreciate you guys.
Thanks.
Shut the fuck up, Lucas.
Hey, I gave you a character sheet.
And then you immediately said, "Hey, I might need to change some of this." So
Depending on how this goes, it might change for story reasons, though, not because I'm lazy.
But we'll be back on Monday with, I'm going to say, a Geek Out session, but I don't know what dates look like to know if it's a Geek Out session or if Boser and I are going to do stupid shit on the internet together or not. So,
which I love that now once a month you and I are just going to do some just chatting, maybe some more don't breaking news, maybe some other ridiculous games. It's just a nice like refresh in the middle of the month.
So in the matter of just making our life easier in this time soup that we can never fucking figure out, we stream on Monday, we stream on Wednesday, we stream on Thursday. You see Boser's face on Monday, you see my face on Wednesday, you see all of our beautiful faces on Thursdays, and that will always be there. If you like this stuff and you want more of it, check out our YouTube, check out our TikToks, check out our Instagram. You can catch up with all of our stories, both these stories and the stories Boser uncovers on Mondays, all on YouTube and or podcast platforms. But until next time, I am T.
I am Boser.
I'm Jeff Sitz.
And I'm here. I'm bringing up
That's the
throwback.
first time that fucking flowed. So until next time, you just keep geeking out. Bye.
Love you all. Take care.
Recording.
Why are you
What did
laughing at
Alex do?
Ligma?
It's not Ligma. It's www.ligma.com, and that is the first thing on my recording now.